Good afternoon, everyone. This is Rakesh Jethani, and I would like to extend a very warm welcome on behalf of YASH marketing team to our today's webinar, that is Computer System Validation, a must for life sciences industry. During this webinar, we will take you through YASH life sciences capability, CSV offerings, CSV process and methodology, tools, and how YASH can help you achieve CSV and GXP compliance. At this time, the participants have been put on mute mode. A Q&A will be held at the end of the webinar. So please type any questions that you might have in the questions box and we'll put those in order. Some background of our presenter, Mr. Murli Iyer. Mr. Murli is having around 24 years of overall experience in life sciences, manufacturing, compliance and SAP. Currently, he is the delivery head for process industry service line of YASH in India. Without further ado, I would like to hand over the control to Mr. Murli, who will begin with the presentation.
Yeah, thanks, Rakesh. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Murli Iyer. In this webinar, I will provide a high-level overview of YASH, its life science practice, GXP process regulations, highlight the impact on non-compliance, and provide a quick overview of CSV services, solution map, and tools. YASH was founded in 1996 and has over 3,500 employees globally, with 27 offices worldwide across 5 continents. YASH has an extended industry expertise in life science, chemicals, manufacturing, retail, and high-tech, serving 300 mid-market and large enterprise customer worldwide. YASH motto is customer for life. So YASH has a well-established life science practice with variety of offerings, services in the area of ERP implementation, rollout, upgrades, application management support, mobility, KPI-based analytics, assurance, risk value engineering, trace and track, and compliance validation service. Today we will focus on computer system validation. So you are all aware of life science process and GXP sensitivity. I am sharing the perspective here. Life science industry produces drugs or medical device which has direct impact on human safety. Life science process chain goes through clinical, laboratory, and manufacturing process which has direct impact on its product attributes, namely safety, identity, strength, quality, purity, and efficacy. There is a need to establish good practices, and this clinical, laboratory, and manufacturing process are sensitive, and the associated good practices are called GCP, GLP, and GMP respectively, and commonly known as GXP. The process and associated data have direct impact on product attributes, and hence there is a need for validation. Now coming to the current global regulatory requirements, in United States you have the 21 CFR Part 11, which is known as electronic records and electronic signatures. You have the good clinical practice, good laboratory practice, the good manufacturing practice for pharma industry, which is 210 and 211, and for medical device it is 820. Then in Canada you have their own regulations. Europe you have EMEA and MCA, and in Asia Pacific you have the Japan Ministry of Health, and specifically in India you have the Drugs and Cosmetic Act, and also governed by World Health Organization. So these are the global regulatory requirements that we need to comply with. So coming to the recent FDA observations regarding compliance issues. You are all aware the recent FDA observations with Indian pharmaceutical companies and citations issued related to computer system validation. So some of the citations are: your firm failed to exercise appropriate controls over computer or related systems to assure only authorized personnel institute changes in master production and control records. System change control records are inadequately maintained. Requirements and design documents are not updated. lack of adequate audit trail, and control over its computerized systems, allowing its employees to delete data from analysis. So FDA is also using cyber forensic software to track deleted data from systems. So last one is your firm failed to implement a quality system to ensure identity of the APIs. So these are the recent observations that was given by FDA to Indian companies. So why the concern over FDA regulatory governance? Let's see, the cost to comply is less than cost not to comply. GXP CSV non-compliance can lead to heavy fines from thousands of dollars to millions to billions to consent degree, with planned company closures, loss in reputations, and high impact on revenue. So here is a graph, of compliance cost model. The graph is between the cost of non-compliance and cost of compliance. So cost of non-compliance curve includes your enforcement actions, time and resources, and cost of compliance curve just involves your time and resources. So if you take the sum of both exponential curves, what you need to do is you need to operate in the optimal area to balance risk versus benefit. The goal is to operate in this area. The cost of compliance curve enhanced through optimization and standardization. So you maintain the same level of compliance with reduced cost. So YASH provides a wide range of CSV services with end-to-end validation of ERP and non-ERP implementation, GXP risk assessment and control mitigation, 21 CFR Part 11 analysis and remediation, validation testing services, quality assurance review, and CSV audits. So let me provide you an overview of YASH computer system SDLC process. See, YASH has a holistic risk-based approach to computer system validation and follows a GAM5 approach to computer system validation. The following is a typical CSV system development lifecycle. There is IT deliverables and validation deliverables. So during the concept and requirements gathering, as part of design qualification, you will have the business user requirements documented. User requirements specifications are unique, testable, and traceable across the SDLC. During planning and scoping, system risk assessment will be conducted based on criticality and complexity of the system. Validation plan will be approved with clearly laid out scope, system description, GXP criticality, validation deliverables, governance, and acceptance criteria. So coming to functional requirement specifications are unique, testable, and traceable across the SDLC. So let me give you an example of user requirements and functional requirements. A simple example of user requirement is, I want to create a domestic sales order. The corresponding functional requirements, let's say in an example of SAP, I want to create a sales order with standard order type with sales organization A, distribution channel B, and division C. So following design qualification is the build phase. You will have your installation qualification of your hardware and software components. So you will do your IQ. I think it is preferred to do IQ of your development system also. Then you will also do your quality systems and your production system. Followed by technical specifications for any customization requirement, code review, and unit testing by developers. So during system testing is done in a controlled environment, which is operational qualification, and it is conducted with respect to your functional requirements. So in user acceptance testing, performance qualification is conducted with respect to your business user requirements. So traceability matrix is a very important deliverable which will track and trace all user requirements to functional requirements to technical requirements to system testing, user acceptance testing. In an audit, traceability matrix is the first document which will be used to verify the completeness of validation. Before final deployment, training records will be documented for all users having access to production. Business and IT SOPs will be approved. Validation summary report with deviation resolution will be documented and approved. Validation is a never-ending activity, and system will be maintained in a continuous validated state. So coming to 21 CFR Part 11 SDLC process, 21 CFR Part 11 or electronic records and signature is an important regulation, and YASH will help company in 21 CFR Part 11 compliance. YASH as a robust SDLC for 21 CFR Part 11. During evaluation phase, after system assessment, a gap analysis report will be generated. 21 CFR Part 11 remediation plan will address the hardware and software requirements aligning to CSV policies and procedures and training plan. During development, system will be remediated for all the 21 CFR Part 11 requirements. Once system is in compliance with 21 CFR Part 11, it will be maintained in a validated state. So this is a typical example of a risk-based change control process. So once your system is validated state, any change to production environment will be via a change control process. The following is a typical risk-based change control process. A change is initiated and assessment includes identifying the business, technical and regulatory risk, GXP and non-GXP. Assessment will also determine the level of involvement, responsibilities and documentation required. All deliverables required to implement the change are approved by the Change Control Governance Board members, including QA validation before implementation of the change. Implementation includes coordination with site change control in regards to SOP and training. So YASH has, various validation assessment tool. GXP validation control assessment tool will verify and validate each GXP requirement in 21 CFR Part 210, 211, Part 11 and verify if this requirement can be controlled via information system or via procedural methods like SOP, training, etc. For each GXP requirement, base control activity and base control procedure is identified, which helps build the GXP control in the system. Additionally, we have a CSV audit checklist and approach to review the quality and check the level of documentation available for completeness of computer system validation. So we have another validation control assessment tool which is specific to SAP or ERP system. This tool will help in building all the relevant system related GXP controls in the system. There are 1 or 2 unique controls arrived after many iterations of system testing from various validation implementation projects. SAP ERP as a system has 70% of this control readily available and rest 30% needs to be configured. So let me play a 2-minute video on one of the controls. One of the simple controls, let me play a 2-minute video here. You're creating a purchase order here, entering a purchase organization, purchasing group, company code. You're entering the material, the quantity, the price, and you're selecting a vendor. So there is a control here via QM info record where we can block the vendor. See, the validity is only 2013 and it is in the deletion flag. So the idea is, this control of only approved vendors we can create purchase order. So this is an example of that control. A very simple control. In view of the time that we have, we want to demonstrate this. So this is approved vendor. So you could see that validity date is 2015, and you're able to create a purchase order. So coming to the Part 11 assessment tool, it is a checklist to check the completeness of Part 11 compliance and will help in further building the remediation and control of electronic records and signature control requirements. So coming to highlighting some of the common validation gaps. See, business user requirements are not documented properly. Validation is all about objective evidence, and that system performs as per predefined requirements. Documenting business requirement is a key to successful validation. Functional requirements are not detailed enough and do not have traceability to user requirements. System testing scripts do not have reference to requirements, and actual results are not aligned to test objective and expected results. Traceability matrix is not maintained or updated. Training records are not maintained for all production users. So objective evidence in form of documentation for security segregation of duties is not available. For example, negative testing evidence if production supervisor can approve batch records, which is a QA role. So there is no negative testing done. Validation system as missing GXP control. System is validated as per CSV methodology, but GXP controls are not built in the system. Validation system is non-compliant with some of the Part 11 regulations. So just to summarize here, computer system validation is a necessary business requirement for all life science, pharmaceutical, biotechnology and medical device companies. Indian companies, whether exporting to US or not, are required to follow the CSV methodology and have the necessary documentation available as an objective, as part of the objective evidence. CSV client life science companies are highly valued as a prospective business partners by customers. Thank you. So I also come to the this business offers and next step. YASH CSV services can enable life science customers to meet global regulatory requirements and help eliminate GXP compliant risk. YASH as a strategic CSV partner can help life science customer achieve validated state of the regulated GXP systems. YASH offers to audit existing validated and non-validated systems for level of compliance, non-compliance at a discounted consulting price. And these are the services that we have. I think I've already mentioned earlier. This is CSV end-to-end validation, prospective and retrospective, CSV training, CSV audits, QA reviews, 21 CFR Part 11, GXP system control and validation testing. So if you need to contact me, you can contact me at my email ID.